Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jaja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulonding. We are also producers of Jaja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gash, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gash Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash.
Sophie Milk ñu ngi fété juróom benn ati cafka bu dul dañ ñoo leen indil Jalika full cream milk powder neex saf sàpp te bari cafka pour di leen jërëjëfati si ni ngeen defee Sophie Milk seen favorite milk brand léegi mun ngeen a jëfandikoo empty Jalika milk sachets wala carton pour gagner ay xéewal yu riche pour gagner motorbike dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty carton yi Jalika milk pour gagner yeneen xéewal yu mel ni PlayStation 4 TV fridge freezer, gas cooker, bicycle wala mobile phone. dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty Jalika milk sachets def leen si biir envelope binda si sa tur ak sa téléphone number. mun ngeen ko yóbbu si bépp Jalika milk agent bu leen gën a jege. pour xam bi si raful yi dem leen Jalika milk Facebook page. Jalika milk mooy meew bu ees bu leen so fi indel gën a neex saf sàpp te riche.
Thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
It's a warm reception to our studio here in Sarakunda. This is Star TV News with me, Memina Jufadera. First, the headlines tonight. Sotokoi Tintinto lands squabbles intensify. Ja Oil bankrolls Al-Buham Foundation's chronic competition. Humanity First gives PPEs worth over $1 million to Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. St. Andrew's Church holds harvest ceremony. Istanbul Aydin University to offer scholarships to Gambians. In other news, WHO reviews Chinese COVID vaccines. India COVID patients die due to oxygen shortage. Colombia's president withdrawing tax reforms after mass protest. Well, those were the headlines. Women of Sotokoi Tintinto have alleged an indiscriminate grabbing of their lands by a real estate agency. Modu Elbaji explains.
The aggrieved landowners on Saturday raised an alarm that a real estate developer was in complicity with one Lamin Bojang of Burfoot to grab their lands. On Saturday, the concerned landowners organized a press conference where some of them explained how they legally acquired their properties more than 20 years ago but were frustrated in their efforts to develop them. They informed the press conference that Lamin Bojang has laid claim to the vast area, citing his ancestry. Amadou Mane claims in the news conference that despite acquiring their land some 20 years or so ago, as well as litigations to stop any development by the real estate agency, they could not still develop their properties.
Because we feel we are victims of this land grabbing and victims to a system that's failing us. We're victims to all these real estate agents that are basically coming in and doing all sorts of land sales. Most of us here in Sotokoi have been owners of these lands for about 20 years. And all of a sudden, now we see basically people coming in and demarcating our lands and basically destroying everything that's on the properties. And we still appealing to the government and all the parties involved to take action about this thing. We wanna also raise awareness to this major problem that's happening in this country right now. It's not only here in Sotokoi, but obviously we want to specify it and we want to make it about Sotokoi today. This problem has been going on for the longest while now. Some of us has been in the court system for ages.
Meanwhile, the various complainants said they have acquired their properties from Lamin Gay, who explained how he became the sole owner of the area of land in contention.
I understand.
I am a retired member of the Gambia Armed Forces. After my military training with the British in 1984, I had a vision to involve in farming. I then started planting cashew trees, but there came a time when I had some issues with the cattle owners. It was then that the elders of our Kabilo decided that I should leave the area, and it was the time I sold this land to these people.
Mr. Gay debunked the ownership claim of Lamin Bojang, saying that documents in Bojang's possessions were fake.
This is happening all over the country right now. People are crying out loud. People are tired. We basically want to kick out corruption. We want to kick out this land grabbing here. We do not need that in this country. Before you know it, it's going to be civilians fighting civilians, and we don't need to get there. We don't need to go there. We have a judicial system that we're still hopeful that they will be able to handle this. From the government, physical planning, everybody involved, yeah? How is it possible you lease your property or you went and get occupancy, you get Alcalos paper, and then people came from nowhere, started real estate agencies, and started selling your property? How is that possible? This is my question to you.
It has been claimed that Lamin Bojang has sold the area in dispute to Unity Properties, which is reportedly demarcating and disposing of the plots to individuals. Meanwhile, the aggrieved landowners have filed an injunction at the court seeking for a stay of all development at the disputed territory, but the demarcation and construction were reportedly ongoing.
Ñu ngi continuer di sampa waxuma leen dara. Suma foundation we ma defoon.
Di ko Unity Property jaay ñoo sampa ni.
Ñoom ñoo nekk sampa ni. Well, they got their place from Unity Properties.
Okay. Yeah, and this is all part of the her land. From here up to there.
The complainant said they have all the required documents, but that they could not still go ahead with their development plans. They therefore call on the concerned authorities to intervene. For Star TV, I am Modu Elbaji.
An internationally recognized university in Turkey is poised to roll out 50% scholarship packages to prospective Gambian students to enable them pursue their education in various fields of study in Turkey. Maria Madam has more.
Istanbul Eğitim University is a private university founded in 2007 by Mustafa Eğitim in Istanbul, Turkey, with the goal to brighten students' future through quality education. The university has an international campus with over 40,000 international students from different countries across the world. The university, in collaboration with Cairo Consultancy in the Gambia, on Saturday held a seminar at the Tamale Beach Resort for students on the scholarship program's importance and opportunities. The university offers 50% scholarships in different fields of study in associate of bachelor's, master's and doctoral level, along with English and Turkish prep schools. The authorized representative from the university, Lawrence Maisungalim, explains to students the courses they offer and why they should choose the university.
Our university, its recognition, as I started, the number of faculties we have, they are up to 17 for undergrad. 17 faculties and vocational schools. What does this mean? Vocational schools are those programs that train you. They give you a vocation. They equip you for the immediate job market need. Maybe you want to be a hairdresser. Maybe you want to be a business magnate. You do business management. Maybe you want to be a software developer. You can do it with computer programming. So those programs are up to 125. As we proceed, I will show some of them to you. Then for the 4 years undergraduate program, there are about 63 of them, beginning from medicine, dentistry, law, electrical engineering, computer engineering. There are about 63 of them offered in English or in Turkish. So not like the courses too are not only offered in Turkish. You might come and your program is most of the programs or some of those programs are in the English language.
Lamin Minte is a Gambian studying and working at the Istanbul Eğitim University. He also highlighted some of the advantages students can gain while studying at the Eğitim University.
Istanbul Eğitim University, if it is 100 students that graduate, immediately 83.6% automatically are placed into the job market. They have a place because the employers know the quality of education. You understand? The education system in Ayadin is not only about education system. You know, they give education that answer to the call of the job market. You understand? Because, I mean, the world is changing. We all know a lot of things are changing. Traditional way of education are trying to, you know, emerge. They are trying to change into the new aspect. I mean, Istanbul Eğitim University is ahead. You understand? That is another advantage you have at Istanbul Eğitim University as an international students. You know, having said that, I mean, we have a lot of opportunities, but I will not go without also mentioning the scholarship opportunities. You know, like we mentioned, the guarantee 50% scholarship is there. Sometimes they also give scholarships to siblings. Let's say students that are from the same parentage, 1, 2 students, you are all from the same parentage. They can make a reduced tuition fee. Academic excellence. You have a very good GPA, you go and apply for this. They can give you as much as 90 up to 100% scholarships. And then I'm happy to tell you that we are also putting in plan to organize scholarship exams here. The scholarship exams are the exam that they organize, and then they have a kind of a cut-off mark. Those who have that, they give them up to 100% scholarships.
Meanwhile, Istanbul Eğitim University consists of several faculties including arts and science, communication, dentistry, economics and administrative science, education, engineering and architecture, law, medicine, among others. Maria Madam, reporting for Star TV News.
The chairman of the Board of Trustees of Humanity First, the Gambia, Baba F. Tarawale, has said Islam is not all about spirituality but also service to humanity. Venerable Baba F. Tarawale, who is also the Amir of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'ah in the Gambia, made this assertion on Friday as the Humanity First delivered personal prospective equipment and antibacterial hand gels to the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. Details in this report by Khadija Tudanso.
The intervention was the latest of the numerous efforts by the worldwide Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in reinforcing the Gambia's COVID-19 fight, and it brings to $1.7 million the total monetary contribution of the organization since the onset of the battle against the virus. In 2013, the country's main referral hospital signed a memorandum of understanding with the Humanity Fest for supporting in the provision of the medical consumables, enhancement of emergency skills of hospital staff, and other areas of partnership. The Chief Medical Director of the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, Professor Dr. Babakar A. Sow, acknowledged that since the birth of the medical partnership between the Humanity Fest and the hospital, the material donations as well as capacity nourishment programs by the organization have remained consistent and relevant.
A memorandum of understanding was signed sometime 2013. Our very able CMD was that time the CMD of the hospital as well, and he signed the memorandum of understanding on behalf of the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, then Royal Victoria Teaching Hospital. Part of the memorandum of understanding was that Humanity First would support the hospital with respect to relevant medical supplies as well as knowledge transfer. Over the years, we've witnessed various interventions by Humanity First with respect to the points of the memorandum of understanding.
The permanent secretary at the Ministry of Health, Lamin Danfa, said,
"It hasn't been easy with government, and this is why it's important that partners like Humanity First are coming on board and supporting the efforts of the government to ensure that we are able to control the spread of COVID-19. And the item provided here will go a long way in containing the spread of COVID-19 across the Gambia."
The chairman of the Board of Trustees of Humanity First, Amir Baba F. Tarawale, described the event as a great occasion in that it coincided with Ramadan. He explains that in view of the growing need to complement the tremendous work of the government in the fight against COVID-19, Humanity First has decided to chip in with the latest donation.
These donations have been reported. As reported, we are supported by many hard-working individuals and organizations. We are profoundly grateful to the National Health Services, NHS, of the United Kingdom and ZDEC Laboratory, UK. I will assure NHS and ZDEC Laboratory through His Excellency, the High Commissioner, who's supposed to be here, but due to his engagement, he is not with us. And other partners, that these items will go a long way in advancing our efforts against COVID-19 in the Gambia.
Respected Amir Tarawale pointed out that the presentation of the PPEs to the main referral hospital was an indication of how the Humanity First wished the items to benefit all hospitals and medical facilities across all the health regions of the country. Meanwhile, Venerable Baba F. Tarawale explains that Humanity First was the brainchild of Caliph Hazrat Mashrud IV. He added that the humanist Caliph conceived the idea during the Bosnian War of the 90s to render humanitarian support to war victims. Humanity First, he went on, has however expanded to more than 60 countries across the world, with several areas of intervention including disaster management.
In its inception, Humanity First has been involved in different activities, different projects throughout. Humanity First has responded to several disasters, both natural and man-made, and served hundreds of thousands of victims in various affected communities all over the world. The organization's scope of operations has expanded beyond disaster relief, where several sustainable human development projects and initiatives around the world. In the Gambia, Humanity First Gambia branch was registered July 2002 and the flagship projects are Masrur Senior Secondary School and Facilities Complex in Old Yundum, and IT Institute at Latrikunda Savage.
He expressed the commitment of the Humanity Fest to continue to serve the people of the Gambia. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Kadiatu Danso.
St. Andrew's Parish of the Anglican Church of the Diocese of the Gambia on Sunday held its harvest ceremony at Banjulinding. Zaglin Koli reports.
The Harvest Festival is an annual event organized to show solidarity to the food and gospel staff members of the society. The festival is one of the oldest celebrated holidays of the church, and its symbolic meaning in scriptures encompasses the two main areas of God's provision for his people and his blessings for others. Reverend Manley of St. Andrew's Parish Church stated that the spirit of the harvest ceremony in giving to those in physical and spiritual needs must be experienced at all times. The highlights of the celebration of harvest ceremony usually include singing of hymns, prayers, and decoration of churches with baskets of fruits and foods known as harvest thanksgiving. Reverend Manley described the ceremony as very significant, saying this year's celebration have taken a twist as the day normally showcases the traditional harvest of farm produce.
But this time we feel that we have a mandate by Christ to reach out to those that are left, those that feel harassed, those that need the gospel, those that at the moment are in doubt, those that, yes, in as much as they've been hearing the gospel, but they've not got the gospel preached to them.
He highlighted that the main objective of this year's Harvest Festival was to spread the gospel in all local languages as ordained by Christ. Jacqueline Coley, reporting for Star TV News.
Al-Buham Islamic Foundation over the weekend held its maiden Quranic competition at a local hotel in Bijilu. The Jar Oil Bankroll Quranic competition was contested in 3 categories, and it saw students from various Islamic institutions compete for different awards. Khadija Tudanso has more.
The competition was aimed at promoting the recitation of the Holy Quran, and it brought together students from Marakatul Fatiha in Yundum, Darus Sunnah in Nema Kunku, among others. Jar Oil funded the contest and its representatives at the program. Sheikh Mohammed Haider shared this message with the contestants.
Let them keep the spirit. People might say stuff, they might hear things, but one thing is real, and it's for real, is that they are the beginning and they are the end. They are on the right path, and everybody will look up to them at some point in life.
He expressed hope that the competition would be frequently organized with a view to giving contestants the opportunity for regional as well as international exposure. Meanwhile, at the end of the contest, participants were given tokens of appreciation, but the winner of the first category was given a mouth-watering prize of $35,000, whilst the runner-up and the third person smiled away home with cool $30,000 and $25,000 cash prizes respectively. The winner of the second category received $10,000, whilst the second and the third were given $7,500 and $5,000 respectively. In the third category, the winner went home with $20,000, whilst $15,000 and $10,000 were given for the second and third positions respectively. The competition was graced by several Islamic scholars. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Kadiatu Danso.
Well, those were the local stories. We'll be back with the international news after the short break. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jaja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulunding. We are also producers of Jaja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gosh, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gosh Group also provides the best security company company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes, and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects, and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding. Gash.
Sophie Milk ñu ngi fété juróom benn ati cafka bu dut dañ ñoo leen indil Jalika full cream milk powder neex saf sàpp te bari cafka pour di leen jërëjëfati si ni ngeen defee Sophie Milk seen favorite milk brand léegi mun ngeen a jëfandikoo empty Jalika milk sachets wala carton pour gagner ay xéewal yu riche pour gagner motorbike dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty carton yi Jalika milk pour gagner yeneen xéewal yu mel ni PlayStation 4 TV fridge freezer, gas cooker, bicycle wala mobile phone dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty Jalika milk sachets def leen si biir enveloppe binda si sa tur ak sa téléphone number mun ngeen koo yóbbu si bépp Jalika milk agent bu leen gën a jege pour xam bi si raful yi dem leen Jalika milk Facebook page Jalika milk mooy meew bu ees bu leen so fi indel gën a neex saf sàpp te riche.
Thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3, or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
Welcome back. After a short break, we now look at the news beyond our borders. 2 Chinese COVID-19 vaccines, Sinopharm and Sinovac Biotech, are under review by the World Health Organization for emergency use. That means it could give an official stamp of approval that they are safe and effective. If approved, they will be the first jabs developed and produced in Asia to get worldwide recognition. Al Jazeera's Diva Gulban reports from Hong Kong.
It's become a way of life around the world for more than a year now. Face masks, lockdowns, and closed borders. And many countries are still battling the spread of COVID-19, some with record numbers of infections and deaths. With an easily transmittable virus that knows no boundaries, vaccines have become the main focus to effectively slow down the surge in new cases. China, where the virus first surfaced at the end of 2019, has been developing and administering several vaccines, but they have yet to be approved by the World Health Organization.
To have the vaccines approved by WHO would be one of the indications of a rising power or this rising application and influence in global politics.
According to China's foreign ministry, vaccine assistance is being provided to 80 countries with exports to more than 40 others. But it is eager to get WHO approval for the 2 Chinese vaccines. It would open the door for overseas travel, although with caution.
As the inoculation efforts step up,
Around the world, vaccine approvals could be laying the groundwork for what could be seen as a global vaccine roadmap, where the shot you get could determine which countries you can travel to. The European Union is considering a vaccine passport system where only certain approved vaccines qualify, which means those inoculated with the Chinese-made doses would be barred from entry.
China is now so integrated in global market and also global trade. Without the vaccine being approved, it could be possible that the flow of capital, the flow of labor, and also investment that China has overseas and foreign investment into China will all be affected.
But experts say approval could also pose a dilemma. Once China formally joins the global supply chain and collaborations like COVAX to supply poorer countries, it will need to ramp up production. It then has to fulfill international commitments and its own domestic targets. So far, not even 20% of China's 1.3 billion people have been vaccinated. Divya Gopalan, Al Jazeera, Hong Kong.
India's critical shortage of life-saving oxygen continues. As many as 24 patients, including those with COVID-19, died in a hospital in Karnataka state after it ran out of oxygen. India's hospitals are struggling to deal with the world's steepest surge in cases. The country reported more than 350,000 cases and 3,400 deaths on Monday. Al Jazeera's Elizabeth Prunam reports from New Delhi, India.
Relatives of patients who died when this hospital's oxygen supply ran out are overcome with grief.
My boy had recovered 75%. If oxygen was available, he would have survived. But without oxygen last night, he died.
Others vent their anger at hospital staff in the state of Karnataka. One man said his brother called him at midnight asking for help.
We got a call at midnight that he's not getting his oxygen supply. He got married just 2 months ago. Now who will look after his family?
Karnataka is one of India's richest states, but also one of the worst affected. Few places in the country have been spared by the second wave of the virus. The capital, New Delhi, set up its first oxygen generation plant after more than 50 patients died when their supply ran out.
When we are completely dependent on supply chains and cylinders, then these problems are bound to rise. It is a great idea to overcome that problem. We have created an oxygen generation plant here. In simple words, it is a kind of oxygen concentrator, only with greater capacity.
Oxygen concentrators continue to arrive along with other international aid. Trains are being used to transport cryogenic tankers with liquid oxygen to those states hardest hit by the virus. The government has expanded the vaccination program to include everyone above the age of 18, but there are shortages of doses too. People have been waiting in a line outside this centre for hours. The vaccines arrived late and the process is taking much longer than expected. And that's only leading to more frustration for people standing in queues where proper social distancing isn't possible. Gladwin Rawat, like hundreds of others, waited for more than 3 hours for his jab.
I feel the delay in the centre is the main issue because people have been waiting here since morning. They were told that the slot will open up at 10 o'clock, but they have been here like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And now we are getting, our turn to finally get in.
In some sites, vaccinations were delayed because of a lack of healthcare workers to administer them. To ease the pressure on the healthcare system, India's Supreme Court has asked the government to consider imposing a nationwide lockdown, but not before making arrangements for India's hundreds of millions of daily wage earners who must work every day to survive. Elizabeth Puranam, Al Jazeera, New Delhi.
Colombian President Ivan Duque has withdrawn a controversial tax reform proposal after days of violent protest on Friday. Duque has promised to make changes to the law, removing the most controversial points such as new tax on food. But on Sunday, protests celebrate after Duque announced he will withdraw the proposal in its entity. Al Jazeera's Alessandro Rapete reports from Bogota, Colombia.
After 4 days of intensifying protests and widespread opposition from lawmakers, President Iván Duque didn't have many options left but to withdraw his controversial tax reform.
I'm asking Congress to withdraw the law proposed by the Finance Ministry and urgently process a new law that is the fruit of consensus in order to avoid financial uncertainty. The reform is not a whim. The reform is a necessity. To withdraw it or not was not the discussion. The real discussion is to be able to guarantee the continuity of social programs.
Celebratory cacerolazos beating on pots and pans could be heard in the capital Bogotá just minutes after the announcement. On Friday, Duque had already promised to make changes to the law, removing the most controversial points, like new taxes on food. But in the face of a growing debt toll, looting and accusation of abuses by the police, he pulled it all together. Protesters hailed the announcement as a victory, but they still have a long list of grievances and say that the protests will continue.
There's also labor reform, pension and health reform, the issue of corruption, the increasing violence against community leaders. The protest will continue and we will not grow tired.
Some analysts in the country consider a tax reform necessary to stabilize Colombia's finances and maintain its international debt credit, but blame the government for pushing forward a bill nobody liked.
The government still could have prevented all the pain and all the suffering that went into the first 4 days of protests if it had at least listened to people, if he had listened and consulted with the political parties, if he had listened and consulted with public opinion. But they decided, despite everything, to go ahead and introduce the reform in spite of their knowledge that it was deeply unpopular, some parts of it.
The withdrawal shows just how isolated President Duque is in a country increasingly on edge. While he's hoping to gather support for a revised tax reform, with less than a year to go before new elections, the political reality on the streets and in Congress might make it unlikely. Alessandro Ampietti, Al Jazeera, Bogotá.
Well, before we end the news, a quick recap of our main headlines. Sotokoy Tintinto land scrambles intensify. Ja Oil bankrolls Al Buham Foundation's chronic competition. Humanity First gives PPEs worth over $1 million to Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. St. Andrew's Church holds harvest ceremony. Istanbul Aydin University to offer scholarships to Gambians. In other news, WHO reviews Chinese COVID vaccines. India COVID patients die due to oxygen shortage. Colombia's president withdrawing tax reforms after mass protests. That's all for this edition of the news. Do enjoy the rest of our wonderful programs. Join us tomorrow for more news. Thanks for watching. Do have a wonderful night. Bye for now.